Nolan, very good to see you. Today, we are talking about the four expenses that retirees almost always underestimate. It is so important to nail down those known expenses in retirement so you can build an income plan around them. So, the number one cost that we're underestimating is, of course, healthcare. Medicare doesn't cover everything, and long term care can wipe out your savings if you don't have insurance.
Yeah, and Aaron, this is one of the first topics we always talk about when we're talking with people about their retirement plan
Hmm.
is what is your plan for Social Security? What is your plan for healthcare?
Hmm.
Healthcare, as we know, Medicare kind of takes the reins. Once you turn 65, you get access to kind of this public healthcare system. It's a little bit complicated, but I think as long as you have somebody explain it to you, you can wade your way through it relatively easily. But Medicare is just one system that's meant to take care of you. And really it's meant for your health care. You know,
Hmm.
you're familiar with like an HMO or a PPO or things like that. Like your Medicare is meant to do that. You mentioned long-term care, and that's one of those things that can be financially devastating that goes beyond Medicare planning. So Medicare, being your health insurance coverage, does not really cover you if you go into a long-term care facility. And we're finding out more and more people over the age of 65 or 70 are needing long-term care facility
Right, right.
assistance. So it gets incredibly expensive, and it's one of those things that people may not be planning for.
I think it's 7 out of 10 people now need long-term care at some point in their life. Good point, Nolan. All right, number two, housing. Of course, even if you own your home outright, you will still have expenses.
Yeah, and housing, even if you own it outright, the expenses we're typically talking about are taxes, property taxes, things, insurance associated with your home. These things go up a little bit. However, larger expenses are things that usually affect retirees. If you're retiring and planning on living for 20 or 30 more years in the same home, you kind of need to plan to replace your roof,
Yeah.
every 20 years. Handrails, ramps, things that make your house more accessible. We have clients who like move a laundry from their basement up onto the main floor just so it's more
Yeah.
easily accessible. So like these things cost money and they require planning, and they may not always be in the 4% withdrawal plan that people typically abide by.
All right, number three, taxes. A lot of retirees will still be paying income taxes, and a lot of people still don't realize that Social Security is taxed.
Yeah, Social Security is taxed, your income is taxed, your W-2 income, 1099s from your IRAs. A lot of your income in retirement becomes taxable. Your Social Security, while not always taxable, can be brought into your taxable income just based on how much other income you have. So if you're one of the fortunate retirees who has, let's say, Social Security and pension, your pension is treated as ordinary income.
Mhm.
If you have big IRA withdrawals on top of it, it may bring some of your tax or your Social Security into your taxable income.
Mhm. All right, the only fun expense we have on this list, Nolan, travel and leisure. We want to enjoy this hard-earned retirement.
I know, and enjoying it is what you should focus on after you kind of address the first three things we've talked about. You need to most times address risk before you can go have fun. I think we all
Mhm.
kind of know that, whether we want to abide by it or not. But travel and leisure are those things where every retiree dreams of having specific goals or objectives, X vacations per year, cruises per year, things like that. If you want to start building those into the plan, it doesn't always stay at today's cost. So expecting those things to increase in price, expecting leisure and vacations, as well as healthcare and taxes and all of those other expenses to go up, these are what retirees need to be focusing on. Taking
Mhm.
enough risk in your portfolio to keep your purchasing power up over time.
Mhm. So I hear you saying, of course, expect these expenses, but do you have any other tips on how not to be surprised or to incorporate them into our spending plans?
The biggest one probably is just to create a realistic budget and stick by it.
Mm.
A lot of folks, say my age, older, younger, just have no idea what their monthly budget is. So I would say a budget first and foremost is a very, very good thing to get going. Saving as early as possible. So if you are fortunate and you are a little bit younger in your working career, the more you can do now, the less you'll have to catch up on later.
Mhm.
And then reviewing your budget regularly and seeking advice on whether or not your retirement goals are realistic. So,
Mm.
seeking advice, getting another opinion, not just flying by the seat of your pants. That's usually the way that we suggest approaching retirement.
Mhm. And it brings peace of mind. Well said. Nolan, if somebody has questions about talking through their budget with you, or if they would like your help putting together a financial plan, what's the best way to reach you?
So they can call us at 616-301-2581 or go to cornerstone-rp.com and fill out the contact us box at the bottom.
Perfect. Nolan, thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.